Good day, strategy gamers, and welcome back to episode 81 of our Let's Play series, Stalingrad to Berlin, War in the East 2. Kicking off turn 42 here, in the north as we always do. Very excited to see how far we can break towards Germany proper in the northern half of the frontier. And right away at the beginning, we start around Leningrad as always. And we notice that all of the armies that the previous turn we had tried to pre-position to move out and reinforce other parts of the line, that their supply situation, right, has gotten a little worse. You see here we're sitting in the 60s, 50s, etc. for most of these units in terms of their general supplies. Ammo is a similar story depending on the unit. Fuel, same thing. Now, if you recall, we did go through and we set each of these headquarter units to supply priority 1. And this is really the consequence that we have from that. It frankly had more of an impact than I thought it would have, but certainly we now have a little bit of proof in the pudding of how effective that mechanic is. The plus side, though, is if we consider this, at the end of the day, we probably still distributed just as many supplies, ammo, fuel, etc. as we would have otherwise. But now our units on the front lines that are actively engaged should be much better positioned and supplied, given that these units here in the north by Leningrad did not take and consume so much of that equipment, foodstuffs, etc. So I think that's a positive, even though it paints a slightly more grim picture for these units we have in the north. The other consideration that we need to take into account is I made a slight blunder as I was positioning all of these armies to then transport via rail to the front line. I haven't repaired any of the rail lines yet. So all but one of these armies are pre-positioned in rail lines that still need to be converted. So what we're going to do is start moving some of these units on foot towards rail lines in the direction of where we want them to go. This one up here, the 8th Army, might actually, will rail transport all the way south. But the others I'm expecting will do a little bit of leg foot movement this turn to get them not where they need to go, but closer in the direction of where they need to go. So let's take the 8th Army, and I think with most of these units, the ultimate destination that we want them targeting is going to be down here in the south as we continue this breakout. So let's take the 8th Army all the way down here, and you see that the units didn't quite all make it as far. Again, going back to the mechanic and concepts of there being limited rail capacity on each of these rail lines. And that's why this rail route specifically is going to not get us all the way there. We'll go this way. Yeah. So we've got some units here that really didn't make it that far. But that's fine. We're well on our way, though, towards the south and where we want to be. With that done and out of the way, I think now we can start looking at some of these other armies and just moving them by more traditional means along roads and such to the south. So we'll begin here with the 27th Army, and I think we'll take them down here south of Peskov. Again, we don't want to exhaust any of these units, so we're going to be very mindful of that. I think that makes sense there. There we go. Yeah, we'll go one more just to be on that rail line there. Now we continue with the 53rd Army, and again, we're just going to be moving these south a little bit closer to the rail lines that we do have repaired, as well as closer to their destination around Königsberg. Should move them up here to the road hex. Perfect. Take these guys south. These are all part of the 10th Guards Army. Seeing some good progress here. Again, a little heavy on the administration and logistics this turn, but I think well worth it to have everything sorted. Go here now with the first shock army. You'll see just how powerful some of those stacks are. It's going to be quite exciting to get them on the front line. We'll go over here with the 55th Army. Yeah, so they are not in great terrain to move, it looks like. I don't know why it's giving me that look. And actually, I want to take these guys off refit. We can put them into reserve. Do I have them all on refit? I do. That's going to be a little tedious, but yes, we want to take everyone back to a ready status. Ones that are already in a ready status are probably simply indicative of me not putting them into reserve previously. So give me just a minute here as we go through and do this. Again, a little tedious, but oh, that rifle brigade's not doing so great, is it? I have that happen sometimes where if I double click too quickly, it actually cycles through with a triple click. It's a little confusing. I'm quite certain it's not a mechanical or driver mouse issue. It's kind of like in the logistics phase where we'll sit there and we'll calculate up to 78% quite consistently, and then we find ourselves back down to 75. Little odd things like that that really stand out when you get so engrossed into the mechanics of everything. Most of these look good from the first shock army, just a couple we want to change. Okay. Now we'll continue moving with the 55th Army. And let's take you just south of Peskov. You can go a little further. Excellent. And you guys can go right outside the city there. Good. Very good. Take all of you to ready. Okay, got that. And I really don't want to mix these armies, because otherwise I will lose track and make a blunder with where we're sending one versus the other. So we're going to send these guys just a little bit to the west instead of following that other road south. Wonderful. Just a few more to go then. Here we've got the 59th Army. And for the 59th Army, they are actually, as well as some others here, pretty close to where we do have rail lines established. So I think we're actually going to move them in an eastward direction. So we'll take them over here. Then we'll get them on that rail line next turn. Here with the 54th Army, we'll do something similar. The rail capacity would be a little tough to do with both armies, so I expect that next turn we might actually take kind of one army each turn, because I really don't want to cannibalize and take away from the front line units and the supply that I need them to get from these rail lines. So there's that. And then the 11th Army, I think we'll just continue with them going south, honestly. So they can just head down here. I think that'll be fine. You can come here. Just a couple to change to ready. And perfect. Let's That keeps happening. That's a little strange. Wonderful. So those are all taken care of. We do see as well that from Stavko, we do already have some railroad dallions that are going out here and starting to do some of the repair around Leningrad. Honestly, it'll be quite beneficial when we do get this all done and taken care of. We do, of course, have the option that we could take one of our other rail repair units and move it up here to take a lot of these. Well, yeah, just to fix it. I don't have any other way to describe it than to fix this situation. I think once we take Novgorod, we might, because that will be a significant savings in the rail line. So just to kind of look at that real quick. Oh, sorry about that. When we're coming with these armies south towards Königsberg, for example, right now, instead of going straight through Novgorod and down in a more southwest direction, they actually have to go all the way towards Kalin in the direction of Moscow, and then hop on a transfer line to start heading east again. So that's probably an incremental 20, 30 hexes that are being traversed just because we don't have this Novgorod pocket. And with that as a great segue, we are going to do what we've done the last couple turns, just last turn, sorry. And we are going to keep trying to deplete the defenses here at Novgorod. Just want them to fire their guns maybe a little bit more than they would otherwise. Let's see if we can take just a couple of these and do it again. Yeah, again, we know we're not going to break through. I just want to, even if it's tiny amounts, I want them to try to actually expend some supply there. All right, with that all done, we can hop over to some of the fighting in action. And this should be a pretty quick cleanup option. We're just going to throw everything we've got here at this remaining 4th SS Panzer Grenadier Division and this HQ unit. Don't tell me they held. They held? How the hell did they hold? Oh my, I'm literally lost for words. We had 700 armor attacking them. How did they hold? Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's see. Can we take that armor out and then bring in this mechanized? And can we take this armor out, bring in this airborne division? This is just crazy. Bring up this infantry division. What else do we got that might be a little useful? We got a rifle division there. Take out that motorized unit and bring up the rifle division. Okay, let's try this again. Come on. Okay. Yeah. So they surrendered and it's all done. Excellent. These HQs then will let them sit here for a turn, and then we'll begin moving them south again towards Königsberg in support of that. Actually, I suppose we can let's actually start moving elements that are ready. Let's not necessarily wait the full turn just to start these guys moving south. We'll have some that are, I want to say left behind, but they'll be stragglers in the back, right? But we can at least start them moving south. I think that will be of benefit. Some of these units, though, of course, just aren't going to be ready. That's fine. Can still take a number of them, though. Mechanized unit can come down. Rifle division can go. Yeah, this is making some progress here. I'm glad we're doing this instead of just letting them sit for another turn. Good, good, good. And we'll take the HQ south as well. All right. Now, On to the Königsberg pocket. Well, this is a little bit of a development, isn't it? They've brought in reinforcements of some, moderate strength here. Quite interesting. I think what we will do, so that's the rail repair unit. Thought so. Let's take this tank core and let's see if we can push through here before they get dug in. Okay, so that was good. And then we will take this tank core forward, I think. This rifle division forward. This mech unit forward. And we're going to leave that guy right where he's at. Not sure what we're up against here in these hexes, but I think we'll probably be just fine. We'll set you to reserve just in case they try to attack in the center where that infantry division is, and they should be able to help out then. So that's good. And then from a rail perspective, this is going to be very minor, but I think we're going to go just a couple more hexes where we have this double rail line there. And actually, let's actually see about getting this guy north towards Leningrad, actually. So let's see, can we put him on a train? And let's get him going north, I think. Might have been more efficient to use one of these guys, but yeah, okay. Sorry, this one, yeah. Anyways, continuing on. I think in a couple spots here, actually, we do want to try to break out, even though we're facing some stiff opposition here. With these guys, I'd like to push him back. So we routed him. That's a good result for us. Let's just see if we can advance a little bit. So we did take a depot, so that's a positive. And then we'll take this guy forward, and we'll try to attack here. They held. Okay, that's fair. They did get a little dug in. You're just going to stay right on kind of the corner of our line, if you will. We'll leave you right where you're at. I don't really have more reinforcements coming in here, which is a little unfortunate, but we'll make do. I do want to continue trying to break through over here. So where best to do that? You see, they've got a couple of units that could, have moderate counterattacks. Let's try to push them back here right on the point so they have some elements that are going to be committed, so they're going to hold. Yeah, as soon as that Panzer Grenadier Division got involved, it was always going to be a little bit of an uphill battle. Let's try once more with the Rifle Corps, though. And that time they did retreat. And the big thing with that was it just then eliminates the fortification that they had there. That's really what's important. Here, I really wish we had more units, because I would love to bring this Rifle Corps forward to then kind of keep these elements of the 2nd Panzer tied down, as well as the 10th Panzer Grenadier Division. But it just doesn't seem like that's in the cards for us. However, it's starting to shape up that maybe we can push south towards Pisa here, just kind of with some of these units. So perhaps what we do then, well, and actually we have 2 units here, so I guess we could, that makes it a little interesting now. Let's try to push through, I think. And let's try to push through in an almost east-like direction. So let's have this Rifle Corps try to break through. So that was successful. And then we'll have both of these guys try to break through here. It's almost 2-to-1. They had some units committed, so they'll probably hold. Okay, I think I want to try that again. They committed another element, so they're going to hold. Okay. Well, shoot. So we're going to take the airborne division over here. And we're going to take the rifle corps over here. And we're going to try that one more time. And rout at them. Beautiful. So we push through there. And you see what that lets us do now is we can take that mechanized corps forward and we can press these retreating units, meaning we captured a depot and we routed them and inflicted 2,500 in losses. So even if they have a very successful counterattack against me here, which they don't currently have units on the line to do, that was well worth the extra effort. And again, it's another hole, another dilemma that the AI has to try to plug. Right. Good stuff. Let's see what we got here. So this rail unit's coming south. I think it might make more sense for you to clean up over here. Because we have you already here. Yeah. So we're going to take you, go this way. Let's see how far we make it, and then we'll figure out what to do with the other rail repair unit. And then you can come up here, go in that direction. I want you to come over here on this double-sided line. You'll work your way through here and then up. That'll be the plan for you. And we're putting you right on the front line, but this guy is surrounded, and I'm gonna be comfortable with that. Over here, things are a little sparse in our line, and I mean we face serious threat of them actually breaking through. Did they? I actually need to look at. Is this somewhere they counterattacked last turn? Let's take a look to see. No counterattacks over here around Minsk, though we know we had some, so we'll look at that in a second. Yeah, is this rifle brigade doing a little better? 70%. That's not horrible. Just getting a little worried about like this guy with a defensive value of 1 right across from a full infantry division and with the supporting 25th Panzer next to it. I mean, they could really cut into our line here. These guys are still coming south. You know what, just to get something there, we're going to put you on the line. And then let's see if this rifle division, it already has a ski battalion. So that is giving it some extra troops. Let's see if we can give it armor, though. So let's give it this 154th Tank Brigade. Just in case they come up against that 25th Panzer. And then over here, does this army really only... Oh, okay. So here's one thing we're going to do. Fourth Army is getting transferred over to Odessa. We don't need no army with 2 units attached to it, sucking up space over here. So you're going to go to the 2nd Shock Army. I see these are things where like using the commander's report, if I was a little bit more diligent in those efforts, really would have made a difference, because I probably could have spotted these things from that. And then you'll go to the 43rd Army. Because at the end of the day, you can't just click through every single unit and hope that you find every opportunity, right? Sometimes you do need to look at something a little bit more structured. This is what I'm looking for. So I need to look to see where I can get you on a rail line. So you can cut across, well, we can just take you a couple X's south. And then we can rail line. Okay. Let's see how far we can get you. We can get you all the way to Kursk, but then you're going to hit a dead end. So we're going to take you over here instead. Excellent. So that HQ is on its way to the south. Back to where we left off. Again, very vulnerable. really no opportunity to counterattack in some of these areas. The nice thing, though, is, I mean, like units, Großdeutschland Panzergrenadier Division, just sitting here, holding the line, sitting across from the 15th Rifle Brigade. Seems a little bit of a mismatch for them. But I think this is the situation they find themselves in. Now let's look at some of the counterattacks that we saw around Minsk. So this is third turn in a row now where they've done this. They did manage to actually evacuate, it looks like. What units were they? I bet they were these down here. Yeah, the 23rd and the 12th Panzer Division. I think these were the two elements that we had cut off. So it looks like they managed to get them out, which is too bad. But let's look at some of these actions they had. So first we had the 23rd Tank Corps, which was routed. And actually, I'm not terribly disappointed with those losses. So yes, we lost 40 armor and 1,000 men. But we knew we were being ambitious. I mean, they were the tip of the spear trying to push south of Minsk. A lot of risk-reward that happens with that type of decision. And if the risk was 40 armor, pretty comfortable with that. Looking north of Minsk, I think here it would be a little bit more disappointing. And I'm right. So I don't think there's any way to describe the situation other than I done messed up, because we were pretty much, not quite, but we were almost 1-to-1 on men. Guns, we were about 1-to-1. Armor, we had 335 armor against their 32, and we lost 178. And that's what happens. Yeah, right here. That's what happens when morale, fatigue, supply, and those things are pushed too far. Because most of these losses were when we retreated. We lost, so there's different variants here, but we lost 86 T-34s from retreating out of the 178 total. Not to mention, of course, some of these armored cars, the T-70s. Wow, that's just embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Less happy about that one. Let's see the other counterattack they had here. And, not nearly as bad as the others. Proportional to the size of these units. It's not great, but yeah. They at least put up a good fight against 183 armor. The other guys didn't really have much of an excuse there, other than my failure to manage their exhaustion levels and supplies. Continuing on, because I don't think that, there were no others to go through, and I can stop beating up a little bit on the decision. Let's do this first. Let's try to take out this Panzer Division with these two guys. So they held. I don't want to, but we're going to have to throw something a little bit stronger at them. Let's try to take them out here. They held again? Really? Okay, now we're going to throw everything at them because I really want them gone this turn. Okay, they surrendered. Took longer than I wanted, but we did get them. The infantry rifle corps is going to come south. And really what we need to do here is we need to... Yeah, of course you're unready. We need to fill in some of these parts of the line now that the pocket is no longer needed. So this mechanized corps, I think we'll bring them south. They should be just fine there. I think we're just going to have to accept that we're going to have a little bit of a hole, but we have defense in depth, so there's not a lot of risk that we'll actually be taking there. These guys, this mechanized corps, let's do this. Let's take this rifle division south. And then we'll take mechanized corps here. And that's on a hill, and that's really where we're getting a lot of that defensive bonus. So they should be just fine. I'm going to be a little aggressive with this mechanized corps, and I'm going to try to push through on this unit. Yep, okay. I really didn't want them to get dug in there. It gives us just a little bit of breathing room too, where they have to advance into that hex to then counterattack. Well, yes, it weakens this hex by 1 combat value. It's an acceptable trade-off. Use this guy to move into the enemy territory. And now we can come and start wrapping around Minsk itself. You know, I'm going to do this once more where, well, no, they're unready. So I'm just going to throw them away if I put them there, but maybe I should. Maybe these guys should go down here. Problem is they don't have any movement points to get there. Want to try to take this hex again, frankly. Well, let's try from a different angle. Let's try coming from this side. So let's try pushing these guys back. Damn it, they held. Okay. We'll take that rifle brigade up here to help with the defense a little bit in this rifle division. So that's fine. And then yeah, where do we want to go here? So let's take this rifle corps south, I think. Let's bring it down here. And then let's start actually driving. Let's start driving on Minsk proper from the north, a more traditional approach. Had a Panzer Grenadier element that helped them out there. Attack one more time. They held once more. Okay. Let's take this mechanized unit and try to push through there. No? Wow. Okay. Take this rifle division south. This rifle division. This rifle corps. Let's try pushing on the Panzer Grenadier division. So that retreated them. And then this rifle corps will come up. I'll try to finish off this guy. Routed him. Unfortunately, because they have Minsk there, I wasn't going to be able to surround those units. Otherwise, you know, under other circumstances, we might have sat there. Now, ironically, I've actually made this whole situation much worse. Right now, Minsk might be a little bit of a tougher nut to crack. Which is unfortunate. Can I? Don't think I can. Really want to break through that one unit there. That's really a bit of a holdup in my mind. Let's take that motorized unit down south there. They're going to get counterattacked, and whatever. It's just going to happen. But again, I want to limit the amount of possibilities for Minsk to get resupply through a land route. It's really the ultimate goal there with those guys. We just don't have anything that can quite come to that hex, do we? Oh, okay. So let's use that motorized unit. And then take you there. Is there anything else that can get up here? Yes, but it exhausts you, which is a little pointless then. Well, this tank corps can come up here. Let's do that. Can I put anything on the tank corps for a support unit? I can. We have nothing available. Crap. Okay. Oh well. This rifle brigade looks like they are doing just fine. They're at 100% and do not need to be on refit. So let's bring them south here. Now some of these other rifle divisions. Can I move into this hex maybe? Let's do that. This mechanized corps. You can actually come down there. Let's do that. You have 2 armor as a mechanized corps. That's not good. Oh my god. Yeah, that's a problem. Should have seen that. Support unit? No? Ugh. That's bad. That's really not good. Okay. Well, overall, think we've made some good progress here. I guess this other motorized unit we could get down there. Let's do it. Probably just increasing the number of men that will get lost in the counterattack, but just trying to make the situation a little better, you know? Is there any hope of attacking here again? Let's try it. Ah, they held. That's going to be tough, because if next turn they get to fortification level 2, it's just going to make encircling Minsk take another turn at least, and that's really too bad. Oh, I probably could have gotten that tank corps over there. Can I still get it there? I can. Then do you have any support units we can put towards you? Ski Brigade. Ski Brigade, here we go. Let's see if these guys can crack it. No! Got within 33 yards. So incredibly close. Incredibly close. Let's take you off. And let's take this rifle corps up here. We will crack this nut. Combat delay. Should have known it. Combat delay. Alright, well, let's attack here. Moved them all the way up. Felt like we should attack somewhere. Okay. Well, now that we're done wasting many, many men, let's move on along the front. Although, sorry, nope, there's a couple more that we haven't done yet. Let's take you up here. And can you push there? Let's push. Oh, it's just a scouting attempt. Didn't have enough. So HQ needs to move a lot closer. Same with you. We now find ourselves in an advanced position. Oh, this mechanized corps. How are you doing? You're good enough. That is your definition. You are good enough. So with that, guys, combat delay. Oh, what was I thinking? I thought, let's try it again. But combat delay. Take you forward. That HQ's in a bit of a tricky spot, isn't it? I just seeing this, we should probably, you know, fill in this part of the line with something, anything. Okay. So that's filled in there. Let's take this rifle corps south and actually try to push on this Jaeger division. So they had some help defensively. It wasn't enough though. The Jaeger divisions are usually pretty easy to get through. And let's... Now we're not going to attack there because they got the 25th Panzer Grenadier Division sitting there in that hex, and I don't want to tempt fate. But overall, some good progress. I think I'm going to move you a little closer to this side. We can maybe look at our HQs here. Oh, they're all over capacity. Okay. There's not much room to make that situation better. Over here, I don't think there's much opportunity. Some has opened up here. Unfortunately, fortification levels of 3. I think they have pulled back here since last turn. This is looking a little different. So we're going to come south with... Oh, no, they didn't pull back. They pushed me back. So nothing too big here in terms of results. I mean, across all three, we lost 3,000 men. The biggest was this hit here with the tank corps losing 50 armor, but that's it. And you're unready, though. So that's not great, and I should have seen that. Making a lot of these mistakes this episode, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, we have a bit of a bug here. Nope, I'm just stuck in the battle menu. That's what it was. So let's take you back. And let's take this tank corps forward. Let's see if we can give you a ski battalion or something. No? Okay. Well, we're going to do something a little crazy. We're going to attack. So they got their HQ here. And I'd really... Nope, nothing happened. That did not work. This rifle division can come off. Refit? No. This tank corps is ready. They can move forward. I feel like we're about to repeat a little bit of history here by moving these guys forward. Ah, this rifle division can come south. That should help defensively. We're going to go just a little bit into this pocket. We're not going to necessarily overextend ourselves, though. And over here we can take one of you. I think that should work. On this side, let's see. Really like to push through there. Let's see if I can give you guys some armor maybe to help with that. There's an anti-tank unit. That's not quite going to work. We have an anti-tank regiment already. Tank brigade 62%. It's going to have to be good enough. Let's see if we can push through. We did. Okay, that's good. I want to put a little pressure on these guys to force them to think about, yeah, should I pull back? So that's the reasoning there. We'll throw you in the middle of the fray. And can we... Oof. I was hoping maybe we could get one of these guys south to help there, but it doesn't look like we can. That's too bad. It's really too bad. Toss him to reserve, I guess. Over here, there's some opportunity to push into these guys. Route at them. That's always nice to see. Love to see it. And we'll have you come forward there. I bet you that's a Jaeger division. And can we maybe press? Let's try. Good. Route at them. Again, just trying to create some holes in the line, really. Over here, I think some of these guys were part of those massive curse counterattacks, and they're still recovering. Yeah. The other one, though, that's in the back, this one I think is probably okay. Yeah, 90% you're getting thrown into the combat, sir. Where do we want? It really looks like south is the opportunity here. So if you recall, in the previous episode, we had created this pocket, which they're now trying to pocket our units. And of course, we won't let that happen. So this rifle division, let's try to first push back this unit. So that was successful. Good. Now, let's take this rifle. Oh, so you can't go there? It's not good. Let's push you back. Try to fight our way out a little bit here. And push you back. They held? That's really not good. We did not need that result. Ooh, that's not good. Okay. How can we get to our guys? Oh, here we go. We can get there. We can get there. So it's just the rifle corps I want to try to break through. So let's bring you here. This unit, I think, is the problem. I think this is the problem right here. So let's see if we can push through. Okay, good. Now we can get these rifle corps south. We're going to exhaust them to get them all the way there. But that will be well worth it. Then you can come south and you'll actually be able to attack and we can try to knock these guys out. That was successful. Good. You can come forward and we can try once more here. Retreat at them again. And we'll knock them out this time. Really? My goodness. So they're going to be surrounded for another turn, I guess. That's fine. That's okay. We will... This rifle corps is not ready. So they're going to be in refit. Yeah, you're a little beat up, aren't you? But I think we need you down here either way. So we're going to... This is a little tough. Let's take you here. And let's actually have you push against them. Question is which one? I think here. Alright, so we pushed them back. This tank corps will take south to just try to help them. And this rifle division can come up here. So now we have a value of 9, which should be enough to hold. This one's actually a pretty easy solve. We just take that rifle corps forward and we're now going to be just fine against this Totenkopfestes Panzergrenadier element. So the little breakthrough worked, and we're going to have a couple of units that will be isolated, surrounded, and will surrender. I should focus on finishing our defensive line, though, here. So we'll bring you south. I think this will be just fine, because even if they do, for some reason, advance 2 hexes towards us in between these two, which would be quite amazing, in fortification levels 1, they should still be able to hold out, I would expect. This rifle corps is doing great, it would seem. So we're getting our army a little messed with in terms of where it's, fighting. But given the circumstances, I think we kind of need it too. Let's push here a little more. And good. Got them going backwards. We'll now take the HQ south just to help. And we'll take this HQ south. The one this way. Perfect. You're actually okay as is. You're fine. All right. Yeah, this is shaping out nicely. So this pocket overall, great success. Very, very, very good news. I wonder what it would look like if we did attack Kursk here. It's actually almost 1-to-1. Let's give it a shot. I don't think we're going to win. Oh, they surrendered. Wonderful. That's great. I was not expecting that. Well then, we have taken Kursk. That ups our victory points a little bit. I don't think I'm going to do any better if I keep recording anymore. So let's just end on that high note, I think. What wonderful outcome there. As always, guys, thank you so much for your support of the channel, the videos, as always, to supporting these wonderful games. Again, as niche as they may be, they really are worth diving into, trying to learn, playing with them, getting your feet wet, etc. But let's keep supporting some of these more niche developers, game designs, etc., such as the Gary Grigsby series of games. Any questions, feedback, thoughts you may have on this video or others, as always, please comment in the comment section below. Really love hearing from all of you, such wonderful engagement in the videos. And no further notes, I will end as always, strategy gamers, have yourselves an excellent day. Bye now.